today. I promise y'all. I had a real good reason, man. I had a real good reason. Let me intro and then I'll give y'all my reason and you tell me if it's valid or not. Alright, is that work? I bet. Oh, that shit sounds so beautiful, man. Welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Last night we had game 2 of the NBA Finals, so we will be talking all about that. But first, you guys let me know if there's a valid reason why I'm a little bit late today. You let me know. So, as y'all can see, I love shoes, right, in the background. I love shoes. That right there, this one right here, this one, original pair from 1991. I love sneakers. And maybe just as much as I love sneakers, I love deals. And so I just got back from picking up a pair of shoes. It was a great steal. I got some 2019 black infrared 6s. So let me know if y'all think that's a valid reason to be late. With the box, it was $100. It was $100. This pair is like 200 used. I have other years, but I don't have an actual wearable pair. I have an original pair from 1991 also. It's not wearable. So it'd be nice to have a pair that I could actually rock. So let me know if y'all think that was a valid reason to be a little bit late today. But yeah, man. I haven't decided if I'm going to sell that pair or if I'm going to keep it for a little bit. So we'll see. Or maybe I'll just rock it until it sells, which is what I used to do a lot. I used to pick up hella shoes my size and wear them until they start selling one by one. Do we need a live shoe? Not for nothing. The other day, I just snuck putting those up the other day because those just came in the mail. I was actually hella worried because I had ordered them. I had ordered that pair, this pair up there, the Travis Scotts. I ordered them so I could have them in New York. That was like the idea. Didn't come in on time for whatever reason. And it got to our complex 2 days after we left. So we left on a Wednesday. It didn't come in until Friday, and it wasn't in a locker. So it was just out in the mailroom, and I was so worried the whole time. I was like, somebody gonna take it. I was like, by the time we get back a week later, it's just gonna be gone. But luckily, nobody took it. So, yeah, if you got any questions with shoes, let me know. I might be able to answer it. So let me know. Yeah, maybe we could do that. That could be like a whole nother segment we could do. But back to game 2. Game 2 is upon us, right? Game 2 is upon us yesterday. We watched it together. It was a lot of fun. And it went pretty much how we expected it to go, right? It went pretty much how we expected the game to go. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. It went how we thought the game would go. The OKC Thunder won 123-107. It was a little bit back and forth early, but that ended pretty quickly. And once the Thunder had the lead, they never looked back. We were talking after game 1, right? We were talking after game 1 about how important it is for the Thunder to come out and have a decisive win in game 2, to have a comfortable win. And that's exactly what they did, right? And honestly, this was over by the middle of game 3. If you were on the if you were on the watch party last night, you would know we were checked out game 3. We were talking about some other shit. We were talking about basketball, just not the game during the third quarter. But I think it really came down because when you look at the game itself, right, 123 to 107 is a 16-point win, right? It's a 16-point win. So did the Oklahoma City Thunder dominate the game, right? Turnovers were Indiana 15, OKC 13. The shooting from the field, 48.8 for OKC, 45.1 for Indiana, 38.9 from three, 35% from three for Indiana. The rebounds, 35 for Indiana. OKC had 43, 25 assists for Oklahoma City, 27 for Indiana. So it really was a pretty close game. When you look at those numbers at face value, both teams took 82 shot attempts in the game. OKC was 40 for 82. Indiana was 37 for 82. Both teams made 14 threes. So where the difference really lied, and Shea is never gonna beat the free throw merchant allegations, because the difference in the game was literally the free throw line. That was the difference in the game, because the Pacers were 19 of 26 from the line. Oklahoma City were 29 for 33, which is the 10-point difference, right? And then the other 6 points is coming from the 3 other field goals that the Oklahoma City Thunder had. So that was really that was truly the game, right? That that was truly the game. Kuya, is that the nickname? No. What's up, Bruce? That's my mom. Kuya in Tagalog, which is, because I'm Filipino, it means like big brother. And so I'm the oldest. So, that's just what my mom's always called me. It's just like what parents called the oldest son or something like that usually. But that was my mom's. Mercurial Halliburton did not help. But like, again, and this is, and honestly, this is, all of those statistics, in my opinion, supports what you, Bruce, and what, Black Canadian, who's not here right now, and what he had predicted when it comes to this series. Because like I said, if you're looking at these stats alone, right, and you haven't gotten over the tape yet, a very simple, or not simple, but one of the main things that you got to do in the next game, which is what they did well in game 1, is don't foul Shea. like just don't foul him. He took 12 free throws in this game versus, I think it was 8 in game 1. Yeah, he was 7 for 8 on free throws in game 1. Right? You gotta try to keep Shea Gilgeous-Alexander under 10 free throws in a basketball game, and that goes a really, really long way, right? If Shea and the Thunder didn't shoot those 10 other free throws because of some little ticky-tack fouls and just being out of place, this game would have been a lot more within range, right? But it felt like the Pacers conceded, and like I said, it still wasn't really that far out of reach. But is the Jayson Estrera show lore we are getting? There's no lore, bruh. There's no lore. Good to know, hello, Mrs. Christina Estrera. Y'all dope. Y'all dope as hell. Longer series helps the NBA ratings. That is for certain, right? More games, more shows, more like just more of everything, right? That helps them. But like I said, after looking at this, right, it really does feel like it's good for Indiana, and I wanted to highlight this. What is this? Is it this? I just want to look at a couple of these possessions in a row, man, because we were talking a lot about this very thing during the game last night. So I wanted to highlight this because it's things like this. It worked out in the end for the OKC Thunder, and Shea was giving Aaron Wiggins his props. 6 of 11 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, 1 of 2 from the line. What is that? 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 18 points. Like it was a very, very good showing. But there was a stretch there that I thought was just very questionable. So let's take a look at it right over here. This was from like the 11 to like the 9:40 mark, right? These possessions. 11:08 to like 9:40, something like that.
Sharing the credit.
Aaron Wiggins gets stripped.
Knocked out of bounds.
It's pretty
Williams
normal.
goes right at Shepard.
Jalen Williams gets a shot.
Caruso tips it.
Offensive rebound. I mean, technically speaking, this guy's at the half court. Y'all have an advantage. I know it's type spread out, but y'all have an advantage right here.
Wiggins grabs it.
Settles for 3. Offensive rebound. Shoots another 3. Thank God he made that shot.
Williams goes right.
Thank God he made that shot, and I think this is the same shot that he just took, right? He took this shit after.
Halliburton lost it. Here comes Wallace. And that
Wait, what the fuck? He took a running shot there. But the role players that we have nowadays, and we kept talking about this during the game, right? I truly believe that there is a lot of coaching involved in this, meaning they're encouraging and or allowing guys to take these shots. Because I come from a basketball where, depending on your role, if you took certain shots, they would literally take you out of games. And guys are not only taking these shots and missing them, but they are taking them again and again and again. They're not even looking to take a different shot. And so, that's something that I'm worrying about when it comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because if the Indiana Pacers are even just having a solid game, a solid to a good game, they don't even have to be playing great. They're just playing their offense, playing solid defense, making shots. Like, it's a solid game. It's a good game. The OKC Thunder, outside of Shea, I think, could get baited into taking some ill-advised shots, right? I think that's something that's very, very possible if Indiana starts hitting a couple of shots, if OKC sees a 10-point lead and they feel the need to start chucking up threes to cut into deficits, instead of just chipping away at it little by little, could we see some role guys taking ill-advised shots? And like we've said before, when they're making them, it looks good. Right? When they're making them, it looks good. Like if you look at no, where's game 2? Sorry. If you look at Aaron Wiggins, 6 of 11 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, there was 3 of those threes that he could have tried to take to the cup instead. Right? He could have maybe ended the game, right? Like 8 of 11, right? Get 20-some points. But I think it's those little subtle things that really makes or breaks certain guys, because you know, if you get settled into that role and you just start settling for it, your game is going to be so up and down and inconsistent, unless you're a knockdown 40% shooter, which, let's be honest, most people aren't. Right? Most people are not 40% three-point shooters. Those guys are Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Like, most people are not that. Let me see. Where was this other thing that I was watching? Oh, it was the assist. Let's talk about this assist. No, that's not what I was trying to do. Shea. Here you go. It's eating time. What's good, my man? What's good, Black Canadian? How you doing? I think it's this assist. No, it's not that assist. Is it this one? No, where the fuck is it? Does he not get the assist? Let's see. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to find this play. Where the fuck is this play? It was a chest shot, though. Where's his made field goals? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was thinking a lot about this. Wait, what the fuck? Was it not Chet that get the shot? What the fuck was I watching, bro? I swear I was looking at it earlier. Hold on. But anyway, because we were talking a lot earlier, or yesterday rather, about the details of the game, right? I pulled up the Kobe video of him breaking down details to Jason Tatum's game. None of the advice, none of it had to do with a particular shot, a particular move. It was just about the placement of a player, right? It was just about the placement of a player. And I think what's happened in the NBA, and there was someone going at Drew Hanlon lately, who's, you know, the skills coach for a lot of players. What I think happened is there's the emphasis that used to be put on players to make these subtle adjustments on the floor. That emphasis has now shifted to moves, right? Everything is about having a bag, right? Everything is about having these moves, when before it was very different, right? It was subtle adjustments to the offense, subtle movements. Where can we put so and so? Could we put them here? Could we put them there? If you run this way, it pulls the defense back there. I'm trying to find this freaking shot. But I think that's something that's missing right now. When you see guys come off of these off-ball screens, no one is thinking about their placement or where they're at in the offense. They're just running through a lot of times. Where is this, bro? Is it from like the other game? Am I tripping? Bro, let's see. Shay Deadass, all Shay did was stop running, and Nemhard overshot him, and it forced such a confusion on the defense that they got a shot out of it. Was it off of a missed shot? Maybe?
So well.
Alex Caruso at some point in last game as well too, I felt like he started taking some ill-advised shots. Something to note about the Thunder, because there were some stretches, the Aaron Wiggins stretch in the fourth quarter. I felt like Alex Caruso had a short stretch, and it was very uncharacteristic of him, where he was just taking some what looked like some very ill-advised shots, right? Some ill-advised shots. I thought that was a good shot by Isaiah Joe. This is not it. This is not it. No. Bro, how is this impossible to find right now? What you eating? What you eating, Black Canadian? What you eating right now? He was doing a lot of that too in game one. Caruso was trying to overhelp as well, trying to do too much to the detriment of the team. Yeah, they've kind of been doing the opposite of what I was giving them so much credit for, which was the ability to stay at home, right? The ability to stay at home against certain guys. They're getting caught in some situations that they really got no business being in. How is this such like a struggle to find right now? Let me see, where is this? Because I feel like nowadays too, right? Like when people talk about having a counter, right? People only think of these one-on-one situations, right? These one-on-one scenarios are the only thing that, people think. Even with Steph Curry, for example, right? Like no one ever brings up Steph Curry's ability to backdoor cut, right? And his ability to not only backdoor cut, but his ability to also to be the pick setter, to read the defense and see when he's coming off from the low block, trying to curl off of a pick, right? We've seen him stop because both guys are top blocking him, and try to set a backdoor pick and have the guy that was setting the pick go backdoor. Like, there's so many instances that Steph Curry reads the defense without even touching a basketball. And I think that's what's really lost in the game, right? If we look at this, burger, pone, fries. What does I mean, I know what burgers are and I know what fries are. Does that just mean burger with fries? Does that just mean burger with fries? Is that all that means? Here, let's take a look at this real quick. Cause Steph, Clay, they were both so good at this. And you would think, with everyone trying to shoot threes, that this would be such a simple solution to force teams to play you what I would call neutral, right? Is to simply just cut back door. Right? You see, I don't even know who that is. I can't tell the number. But he's starting to go over the top because he's trying to read the, you know, the pick, right? And Clay just runs downhill. Right? Like it's so simple because, you know, guys are expecting, look, getting caught. I mean, you could call it getting caught napping, but they're expecting him to come off this way. And instead, but also the key in that particular situation, right, is Steph is also reading this situation. He's slow running into it and just stops, right? And just stops. And I think this type of attention to detail, this type of adjustment now has shifted to, okay, the haha, right? That's what it's shifted to, right? If he bites on the hezzy or if he don't bite on the hezzy, right? If he bites on it, you could go. If he recovers, snatch back into another, like, that's where this type of thinking has gone to. It's shifted from the little aspects of the game. Let's do a little pick. What do they call it? The Chicago pick, right? The Chicago screen from back in the day. The Iverson cut. Right? And I think when you play basketball like this, right? When you play basketball like this, coming off of screens, cutting, it makes it very easy for you as the individual to know what you need to work on. Right? Because if you're not coming off of screens properly, right? Maybe it's your footwork, maybe it's your hand placement, maybe you're not squaring enough on the turn. Maybe you need to fade, maybe you don't need to fade. Like, you can work on some of those shots so that you could be more effective and more efficient in a game, rather than working on a whole bunch of dribble moves that you might do once in an entire 82 game season. You might do one of those crazy dribble combinations that you worked on all summer, but that we're seeing from some of these fucking videos. You might do that shit one time. You might do it one time. So, hey man, I would love to see. Is this it? Oh, why was this not there? I would love to see. I would love to see how it would look, right? Because I think that's why I would love to see this shape play. He literally just lets Nembhard shoot the fucking gap and cuts back door and creates like this crazy situation for the Indiana Pacers. I'm mad I can't fucking find it right now. Let's see. Maybe it was in this. Let's see. Oh, I don't know about y'all. I have not locked into the WNBA yet. I definitely got to do that for sure. I'm yet to lock into the WNBA. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it was after the Chet 3. It was the fucking layup. All right. Let's take a look at this. I kept thinking it was the 3 for some reason. So Chet had just hit the 3.
Knocks it down.
You know, the idea is obviously for Shea to come off over here and get the basketball, right? Nembhard is overplaying it, knowing what they're trying to do. And instead of Shea doing anything special, there's a little bit of a push there too, right? Just lets him overplay him. Just forces him to do it, and then instead of just standing out or popping out here, right? What does he do?
Caruso
Tries to dive to the basket. Obviously, it's a hard pass with Siakam there contesting it. Nembhard is trying to recover, which leaves Chet Holmgren wide open right here. He probably could have got a more open shot if he, you know, if he slid to the deep corner more. But I think he still makes a great decision here. Miles Turner trying to recover, attacks his top foot,
Holmgren on the attack,
gets
right
to the
from the
rim,
start. Layup
and
is
that was
good.
an end one. There was an arm on his shoulder right there. But again, right, like
Sit down.
again, and it started from this play, and I think what this does, right? What this does by doing something like this, he overshoots it, right? And you stop on a dime and then you cut. What this does now, he can't overplay it, even if he knows the play that you're running, even if he knows where you're going to go. Now he has to trail you the way he's supposed to. And if these guys don't make the right read or don't make the right play or don't help at the right time, Shea is going to come over here and get a clean shot off. If not, if Miles Turner overhelps, that's a pass to Chet. If Siakam overhelps, that's a pass to Caruso. But now, because of this one play alone, now you're forcing Nembhard to play you neutral. Now he has to play you straight up and trail you. So it's those subtle things that I think can really make, it can really elevate basketball teams, right? It can really elevate basketball teams, and that's the thing that I think that's what gets lost in the media. And this goes back to the conversation we were having just last week about players being boring or you know. I think what that conversation really is to be really, really great, to be a dynasty, you can't rely on highlight plays. You can't rely on Tween going to the left into a dream shake, come back left, you pump fake him, go up and under on the shot. Like that's not whoa, hold on. Whoa. Chill, Black Canadian, chill. What was the line? What was the line? And then we could judge whether it was pause worthy or not. What was the line? If you don't got the line, I'm gonna put my hand down. Try to pause me. Yo, what's wrong with y'all, man? You, Elijah, trying. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't elevate your homie? You can't be supportive of your homies? That is not. You a mentor that says, nah. You reaching. You reaching. Nah. Nah, no itty. No itty. We Yes, LeBron is old. Curry is old. We have to let the guy earn it. See Jason never beating the Diddy allegations. You see Bruce being the only adult around here. Bruce being the only trying to bring the conversation back. All right, we go. So I'm gonna have to watch it now. We have to play the pause game from now. All right, bet. I got you. I'll be on my P's and Q's. I got you. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Speaking of, I gotta find this. Wait, where is this, man? Dog, this was fucking nuts the other day. Hold on, where is this? Wait, I gotta go through my YouTube history, I think. Hold on. Wait, you wanna see a pause? Bro, this might have been the craziest one. Hold on, I got you right now. Let me find this shit. Let me find it. Wait, is this on my watch? Oh. Hold on. Bro, I was watching it and I was like, wait a second, what did he just say? Bro, it was nuts. Where is it? Oh man, I might have been watching it like outside. Yo, I can't find fucking anything today, man. What the fuck? What'd you say? No Bruce, we haters over here. Why you elevating your mans? You want to be under him? See, like, you dragging it, bruh. You are dragging it. You're dragging it, bro. That's crazy. They all old Palmas. Everyone else sucks too. I'm just here to talk basketball. No other balls and no balls. Yo, no other balls is crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's so crazy. What do you guys think is What do you guys think the key to game 3 is? What do you guys think the key to game 3? Game 3 is on Wednesday, I believe, right? I believe it's on Wednesday. What do you guys think the key is for those guys? Bro, I want to find this because I want to laugh with y'all. I don't know why. I've been in such a trolly mood, bro. I think I just found it. Bro. We get to watch this together. Is it here? Let's watch this as a family. Let's see if this is it. Let's see.
Positive things that Indiana does is really going to be fascinating to me because you're talking about one of the best defensive teams. And if there's anything, if you're Mark Dagnall, that you watched in this situation, and that they were able to do actually against Menor, and Ant started to work him down
I don't
the
give a
court.
fuck, bro.
That was a different level of aggression, a different level of physicality that I'm not sure Ant has seen a lot in his career. Lou Dort, and Stephen A. talked about this last week. I don't think a lot of people recognize 6'4", 210, 215 pounds. He could be physically overwhelming for a lot of people. And one of the things that you saw that Tibbs did in the last couple of games against Indiana that started to make a difference was Mikal Bridges picking up Tyrese Halliburton full court. But it was a little bit of a hinder you from playing north to south. Lou Dort is going to be in his ass. He's going to be in him. He's going to be in his pocket. Go ahead, Monica.
Do you think...
That needs a pause. That needs a pause, bro. That needs a pause. Nah, he's wildin'. He's wildin', bro. He's wildin'. Oh my fucking god. Felt like the game where they tried to see if they had it and they didn't, so they just focused on getting hurt, not getting hurt for game 3. She's pretty enough to make me pause. No, Jason Williams needs to they be saying wild shit, bro. I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but they be saying wild shit on the broadcast. Look, Bruce, I don't even play the pause game, but I was watching this the other day and I was like, whoa, brother, what did you just say? You gotta go to commercial. Yo, Jason trying to take down people with him, chat. Was that pause worthy? Now that's not pause worthy, Elijah. Now that's like, all right, man. All right, see, like mine wasn't even that bad, Bruce. Like that, see, like mine wasn't even that bad. They started this, man. That's crazy. You guys try to make me look a certain way. Right? You try to make me look a certain way. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But that was pause for Jason Williams. I can't lie to you. All right. So game 3 in Indiana. I feel like Indiana's gonna be rocking on Wednesday. I feel like Indy's gonna be rocking. I don't think Halliburton has had a lot of, I mean, I guess he just had back-to-back bad games, but you know, I don't expect 3 bad games back-to-back for Halliburton. So man, the Pacers look good for game 3, man, but that if I pick the Pacers in game 3, that completely goes against my 4-1 pick for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm at a crossroads right now, you guys. I mean, there is... it was a positive that the Thunder won the way that they did in game 2, because I think it kind of evens the series out, right? They, you know, the series is tied. They take back, no, it'd be 2-1. No, they still don't have home court advantage. They have to win 1 game to have home court advantage back. So that's tough if you are. That's tough if you're the Thunder, because what it would be 1-1-1, yeah, because there'd be 2 more games in Indiana, back to back, and then 1 game in game 6, and then OKC only has game 5 and game 7 left, at home, right? So Indiana is still in the driver's seat right now, technically. I don't want to say that they have a game to throw away, but they have a game until OKC regains home court advantage again. So he hitting us with the reverse Knickerbocker logic now. Don't do that. Don't play that with me. Who you guys got game 3, man? Who you guys got game 3? I'm like trying to picture it. I will say. OKC came back from like that. What was that? Like the 40-point loss to Minnesota. I said the same thing about New York, but you know, OKC recovered a lot quicker, right? Sometimes you lose the way that they did in game 1. Sometimes you don't recover. You know, sometimes you don't recover from that. And I think that shows the type of team that you have. And for the Oklahoma City Thunder to recover so quickly, I think says a lot about them. I thought it was impressive for the New York Knicks to get 2 games after losing the way that they did to game 1 against the Pacers and then losing game 2, right? Like they should have gotten swept, like I said before. So the fact that they even got 2 games, I think, was impressive enough. So for the Thunder, this is it, and it's crazy to say that, you know, the higher seeded team has back-to-back must-win games, which was game 2. And they got 1 out of, they got 1 out of 2 so far, but I think game 3 is also a must-win game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, sirs. Go, sirs. I hate that one, by the way. I think that shit is so whack. Yes, sirs. That shit sounds dumb as fuck to me. Pascal time. Game 3, he dropping 38. Black Canadian is a guy that can tell the vibe. All right, this is what it is, and you could pass along this information to Shay if you want to, Black Canadian, even though I doubt anyone is really talking to him much right now outside of maybe his wife. Maybe. Maybe. Game 3 is where Shay can really he could put a stamp early in his career. I think game 3 can be a game where Shay can try to transcend from an MVP, a really, really great player in this league, to having an all-time type of vibe to him. Because I think you don't just get that off of one finals run, off of a couple of good outings. He's had 3 great years, and if he can cap this season off after that game 1 loss, he has like 70 something, almost 80 points in the first 2 games. He has an opportunity in game 3 to put himself in a different conversation, I think. And maybe they do it as a team, but I really think if he's able to do this in game 3, we could really have some different conversation about Shay. Both games, Halliburton legacy's on the line for both games. Shay should drop 45 and win. Let's see if he wants to do that. He's great, but he still hasn't looked as unstoppable as Kawhi, for example. If Halliburton chokes at home, he is overrated. I think we're also just like prisoners of the moment with Halliburton. I think he's a very, very good player, but you know, there's some guys talking about take him over Trae Young or take him over Steph, take him over this, that. I'm like, are we talking about the same person? No disrespect. No disrespect to Halliburton, right? All of those guys have game winners, by the way. Like, let's just chill out. Let's just chill out. But there is something, and I know I'm talking about legacy with Shai, but because not many people have this type of season that he's had. He has an opportunity to, you know, he was in the All-Star game, All NBA first team, MVP, 30 points on 50% shooting, historically good team, to then go into the Western Conference Finals, average 30, get the MVP, go into the NBA Finals, and do it again with a big Game 3. It adds to this great story for him and the book that he's writing for his legacy. So I think Game 3, and that's the thing about Shai that we've talked about. There's times where he almost looks like he puts, you know, he puts on the brakes, and we just can't understand why. Like, go get 60. Like, try to get 70. Try to get 8. Like, why? Why would you stop? Because the reality that a lot of guys miss out on, right? That's the very reason why Luka's able to get so many triple doubles and average as many assists that he does. That's why Jokic is able to have so many triple doubles and average the amount of assists that he does. Russell Westbrook, when he was averaging triple doubles, is the same thing. LeBron, who's always flirted with triple doubles, because when they're always attacking on offense, looking to score, the other team has to overreact to a lot of things, which then opens up everybody else. But you got to be looking for that shit from the second the tip off till the last whistle. So we'll see if Shai will do it. We'll see. Shai is not great. He is good to me, but great, heck nah. Hallie legacy is not on the line. Not every game is career defining. Like JT career was just put into question, losing to the Warriors. Like Luka, will Luka make changes to win it all in NBA all-time great, or will he just be the same guy and be good but not great player in his generation? Is that the shade that choked in the Olympics? I mean, brother, he was going against Team USA. Like, was there even another all-star on his team? I don't even think there's another all-star on that team. Because everyone brings up the stat like, oh, they have X amount of NBA players on the team. Like, okay, how many of them are all-stars? How many of them are all NBA players? How many of them are all defensive? How many of them are in the running for an award? I guess maybe Lou Dort, but other than that, that's it. Right? Nembhard is like the fifth best player. Is like the fifth best player on, you know, his team. Oh yeah, they did. Was it Germany? It wasn't France? It wasn't France? Dennis Schroeder knocked them out? Yeah, maybe that explains the little thing that they had in Detroit. Yo, RJ. Okay. Hey man, listen, Jokic almost did that shit though. Jokic tried. He almost did that shit. Jokic almost did that shit. Damn near, bruh. The star Jay Barrett. Oh, I keep forgetting y'all Toronto Raptors fans. I thought RJ was real good this year. I thought RJ was real good this year. I mean, I would want to see the next like great player come up, and you got to go through these things, right? I think Indiana is probably favored in Game 3 right now, so let's pick OKC. Shai gets like 45. Shai gets like 45 and like 8-8 or something like that. I think he gets 45, 8-8. Yeah, I think Shea wins game 3. Just for my pick alone, honestly, purely just to try to maintain my pick. Hey, I told you too. I told you too, Bruce. I'd apologize to you if they, if Indiana wins their second game. But until that happens, fuck it. I'm gonna just keep picking OKC. We'll run 4 straight. Shea is a sister. Nah. See, we just saying shit right now. You know what? Bump it. RJ for Prime Minister. I'm weak. Man averaged 22 on the team, riddled with injuries. He's a great player. Just has to get more elevation on that 3. Shea is a system player. I hate players that don't elevate. He is, man. Whoa. We got to pause that. How you tell me to pause the same thing? You just did it twice. He needs to get more. Nah, you just did it twice. Really, I've always liked not jumping that much on 3-point shots, on jumpers, or actually on jumpers in general. Nothing about Shea impresses me. 0. Not even like 30 plus 3 consecutive years on 50% shooting. Even that's not even impressive. I get not a lot of his plays aren't super flashy. But like not impressive is crazy. He said, "Fuck, I'm leaving." Yo, the realization. Look, see, that's why I was fighting my pause. That's why I was fighting mine. Fuck out of here. But the elevation is what makes the shot unguardable. I think it really is player to player. There are some guys that I think shoot really well when they elevate on the jump shot. And other guys I think probably, some guys probably fuck up their shot because they're trying to jump too high, and also like it just takes so much energy to elevate that much on every jumper. But yeah, I like I said, I think it really does depend player to player. I think it varies for each one. So we got, y'all got Indiana game 3, right? Y'all got Indiana game 3. I got OKC game 3. Let's run that. They're in Indiana. That shit's gonna be turned up. That shit's gonna be turned the fuck up. Caitlin Clark gonna pull up. It's gonna be fucking crazy in there. Oh, it's, by the way, I gotta lock into the W. When is the next game? I haven't locked into the WNBA yet this year, man. I gotta lock in. Oh, the Sparks are playing tonight. I mean, if they win game 3 and game 4, they might as well give them the trophy. If they win game 3 and game 4, they might as well give them the trophy, bro. They might as well give them the trophy. The ability of your shot is better. Lots of players never worked on their touch, which is why it's difficult. Your ability to score only raises when you can elevate because it makes every shot open. Sparks have injuries. Valkyries beat them last game. Oh yeah, they do have injuries. I think you're right. If you are able to have good mechanics, have good elevation on your jump shot, have good lift, so that defenders have a harder time contesting you, that's great. I think for a lot of guys also, being in the air for so long also leaves an opening to, in my opinion, to fuck up your mechanics, right? Being up longer leaves a bigger window for your hand placement to be a little off, for something to be a little bit off. We're seeing guys now try to adopt the Steph Curry type of shot where he's, kind of shooting like on the way up, which is the opposite of what, I got taught growing up, was just to shoot at, try to shoot at the peak of your jump, right? But yeah, oh yeah, Clark been out. Yeah, Caitlin Clark. But that's what I'm saying. She's gonna be at the game. That's how players live in the mid range. Belt the time they close out. You in the air shooting are already. It's all core and touch. But even I don't think Shea elevates crazy on his mid range. Does DeMar shoot very high on his jumpers? I feel like he shoots high on his catch and shoots. But I don't think it's necessary. I mean, it's great if you have the athleticism to do it. I think it's just really hard. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I was saying. I feel like he jumps really high on his I feel like he jumps really high on his catch and shoots. I was trying to think of how his pull up looks. And honestly, I feel like Steph shoots more on the way up. It's very, because Steph doesn't elevate that much on his jump shot. He's one of those players. He doesn't shoot that high. I think I'm watching his jumpers right now in slow motion. He's not quite at the peak of his jump when he's shooting them. He's shooting them on the way up. Trey can't pull up in traffic. I think Trey Young is weird. It's like when you ask him to 1-2 pull up, I think he has a hard time doing it. He's a lot more comfortable doing the 1-2 step into a floater, is what I think he's naturally inclined to do when he's in the lane, right? It's not natural for him. It's not natural for Trey Young to go 1-2 stop on a dime and pull up for a shot, right? I feel like he's a lot more natural going 1-2 going towards the rim for a floater. That's his natural movement. That's something that he would have to train, all summer long to get the foot placement down and to make the read and reaction so that when he does the move, it looks almost the same. Trey can't shoot whenever he wants. No, that's fact. And I think that happens a lot more than people realize in the NBA. He has off mechanics. He's never learned to shoot proper because he was good at shooting his way. Yeah, he shot at such a high clip the way that he does. Yeah, he's never learned. And I've always argued this. I've always argued that the floater, obviously, most guys don't shoot floater very far out. But I think having a floater serves as an in-between game. So if you don't necessarily have a mid-range pull-up, a floater, I think, helps you in that. It serves as a way to freeze defenders so you can get behind them and get to the rim. But yeah, I think that it happens all the time. Like I think a lot of casual viewers wouldn't understand that. Like how do you get professional? No, he was just good at whatever the fuck he was doing. Right? Like that's why there's so many athletic guys that get to the NBA and then, they're on an NBA floor and they're like, how did he get here? Because he was just bigger, faster, stronger than everyone up until the NBA. Right? Where everyone's big, fast, and strong and, where skill and IQ really take over. But like I feel like it like we don't see that many floaters anymore, and I think it's a problem. And obviously, like everyone shouldn't be shooting a floater, right? It really everyone shouldn't have a floater. I think for a lot of guards, because analytics said floaters are bad shots, that's why you don't see guards taking them as often, except for a few, right? That's why Steph Curry doesn't shoot his as nearly as much as he used to, because analytics says it's a bad shot. But I thought it was a great way to keep the defense honest. He said, "See, I hate the floater because I don't like flat handing. My floater turns into finger rolls." The floater is necessary for elite guards if you're small. Yeah, but if they're telling you not to take them, like what happens? Right now you don't take that particular shot, and now it's just lost in the game. And like I said, like when you're a great player, right? When you're a really, really great player, like a Steph Curry coming off of a pick, or like Tony Parker going for a floater, or like Tony Parker getting to the rim, for example, right? You need to be able to have a counter so that now the defense is forced to play you, like I pointed out with Shea earlier, neutral, right? If Steph never backdoor cuts when guys are trying to get over the top early on screens to deny him, and if he doesn't back cut, guys aren't going to be forced to trail him like he normally does, and then he gets to come off shoot, come off pump fake dribble. Like it opens all of that up. If Tony Parker never had a floater, he wouldn't have shot 60, 70% on layups in the lane, because the fear of his floater, the little millisecond of a hesitation from the big, is enough for a player like Tony Parker to get around them and get a layup. So it's those little nuances, and it's not simply just a tween into a double step back. Like that's not the only shit people got to be practicing, man. Man. It's perfect for keeping defenses moving. I'm gonna be honest. I think we see a lot of them. James Harden, Luka, Trey, Bron, etc. I always said, fuck stat nerds. Look at Shea. He brought back the midi. Just play basketball. Like you said, it works as a freeze in a way middies can't. And to be honest, Black Canadian, I think there's been a few guys that have said, this is stupid. Like, I'm gonna keep shooting mid-range shots. Like we see, like Luka, no one looks at Luka as a mid-range guy, but he lives in the mid-range, right? He gets to the mid-range, he has guys on his hip, and he's just reading and reacting. He'll floater you. He lives in that range still. Shea, Jaylen Brown lives in that. It's still alive. It's just this NBA media propaganda that tries to tell you is gone. But all the elite guys still utilize it. I wouldn't say Shea brought it back. It never went away. Facts. All the top guys have middies. Facts. Still have. Always have. Right? Always have. DeMar's been in the league this whole time. Chris Paul been in the league this whole time. A lot of really elite guys have used the mid-range. All players that have been primarily mid-range players have been kicked out of the league or have been seen as inefficient for so long until Shea. Like I said, I guess that people have kind of switched that narrative on DeMar, but DeMar has been around this whole time. It's not like DeMar, it's not like he retired a decade ago. Kevin Durant has been in the league this whole time. Devin Booker's been in the league this whole time. I think there's still a number of guys who really utilize the mid-range shot. I remember a couple years ago when When Zach LaVine was on Chicago talking about, they're telling me not to take middies. That's what I do. They're telling me to take 3-point shots. So this has been a thing for a long time now. When the NBA media says it's good again is when players all around the league will start using it again. We are starting to see young players using it now. No, that's facts. No, and you are 100% right. I think, watching the Thunder, Shea isn't the only one that shoots middies, right? J-Dub is shooting middies. I think that goes a really long way. Anthony Edwards could be a very solid mid-range shooter. I think he could use it more than he does right now. Jalen Brunson, mid-range assassin, also. Like we just forgot it. We just stopped. We just haven't mentioned him. Midi, all middies, like all middies. Even like no one, like there's players that no one even like Jokic lives in the mid-range. Pretty, that's where Jokic operates. He might not necessarily take mid-range shots all the time, but Jokic operates in the mid-range. He has the little stop floater. He has the turnarounds also, but he operates in that mid-range. It's alive and well. Cade Cunningham, yeah, there's a lot of guys. I agree. I'm just saying that now that isn't demonized, will be seen as a more usable threat rather than a late shot clock option. Cade does KD, does Bron, Steph does Pascal, Trey, Russell, Westbrook go to his midi. It's just a narrative. Every good scorer needs it. Exactly. And it's funny, like I remember watching basketball in the 2000s. And if you watch basketball at that time, you'd remember this term that they used all the time in the 2000s was, oh, the mid-range is a lost art. They used to say that in the 2000s. Kobe Bryant in the league, Tracy McGrady in the league, Paul Pierce in the league, Kevin Garnett in the league, Tim Duncan in the league. It was a weird, I always thought it was a weird narrative that for whatever reason they always pushed. It was just a weird, it was a weird thing that I remember, like I would hear that back in the day and I'm like, we're watching literally some of the greatest mid-range scorers we've ever seen in the NBA, and these guys are coming on ESPN talking about, oh, look at him, the mid-range is a lost art. Motherfucker, he just made 6 out of 8 field goals in that game from the mid-range. What you mean? So it's this weird media thing when it comes to basketball, man. It's this weird thing, but that's what we're trying to break. That's what we're trying to break, right? That's what we're trying to break. We trying to talk about basketball accurately, as DJ Khaled would say. Oh, they definitely started saying it more in the 2010s. But think about that. Black Canadian. Like, they were saying it in the 2010s as if Kobe didn't just win in 2009. like that is like think about how nuts that is to say something is a lost art. The guy just won a championship 2 years ago. Like, what the fuck? Like, these basketball narratives are hilarious, man. Some of them are really fucking funny. Some of them are really fucking funny. I also love this narrative that, some of these bad shots are because of Steph Curry. I think obviously Steph takes some really bad shots at times, but more often than not, Steph Curry takes great shots. Steph Curry takes great shots from the 3-point arc. And the other thing that some people don't like to gauge is there's great shots for certain players that aren't great shots for everybody else. So that's something else. That's something else to note. The trend, the thing made a Batman logo on my shit. Oh, why the fuck is my flash on? That's fire. Trust me, I know coaching changed for the kids in the 2010s. I lived it. Now, I mean, because you're in it, right? You're in the trenches. You're seeing this shift happen in real time. I've said all season long, Black Canadian, I think the NBA is in a transitional period. They're going back to NBC, which I think is a callback to quote unquote old school basketball. That's why this season defense was such an important storyline. And also, there were a lot of really, really good defensive teams. I think the league was a lot more physical than it has been in recent memory. And then you have the MVP of the league in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's a midi assassin, which is a callback to old basketball. So what I'm envisioning is in the next 3 to 5 years-ish, the NBA is going to have an overhaul. There's going to be a shift, not just in the way that we view basketball, but in also the way the game is played. And I think when that happens, then we're going to get the trickle-down effect to the younger kids, the younger generations wanting to copy the game that we're going to see in the next couple of years. And I think that's where there's going to be a shift in the youth. And, you know, and maybe 10 years from now, we might get, like 10 years from now, we might get the greatest basketball we've ever seen. Because I think everyone is going to take all of the positives from everything that we've seen up until this point, and we're gonna see some crazy shit, I think, in the next like 5 to 10 years. That's just what I think is gonna happen, because I love the way the game is. Do I have some complaints? Obviously, but I think the game is in a great spot right now. It's getting more physical. People are getting smarter. Fans are smarter than ever. Adam Silver is getting fired unless things change. Yeah, and I think things will. I think they're listening. Obviously, this year we've heard all of the investigations that they've done that we never had. That we never got any. There was never an end to the investigations that they did, right? But you know, if it seems like they're listening. It seems like they're listening. So let's see. Yeah, not going to happen, but we shall see. I've said it. Everything is rounding back to the scheme of basketball. The game is blah. Listen, man, we're going to try to reach you. Is right. What you said right there, Black Canadian. I've said that everything is rounding back to the scheme of basketball. We're trying to hit that pocket. I think us talking about the mistake Shai made the other day, us going over some of these other things will go a long way, hopefully. So, you know, we'll bring people along the way as we go, and you know, we're gonna build this fire ass community. That's the plan. But I'm excited actually, because I think that the game is trending in the right direction. So let's do this. The WNBA is getting better. The NBA, I think, is gonna get better. Man, let's see. I think we're gonna have some demons coming up in the near future. Like we have an Elijah Arenas that's as sharp as he is in his offensive skill at his age. I don't think he's going to be the only one. Right, I think guys are going, you know, kids are going to see him and say, like, I want to be that good at that age, and they're going to be even more skilled at a younger age, and guys are going to get smarter. I think the LeBron content, the podcast, I think it'll help, because I think there's going to be a young kid out there that's a LeBron fan that says, ooh, I want to be like that smart. I think him being that smart about the game is really cool. So hopefully it translates. WNBA always had ballers. You probably did not watch. Hey, I'm very transparent about that. You know, my dad's always watched the WNBA. I've never actually watched a full season up until last year. So I'm not. That's why I'm excited, because I think now you get a combination of, you get ballers plus you get, you know, these storylines in there and these narratives that pushes the game forward. So I can say like 10 players better than Clark in my opinion, all time or right now. All time or right now. Are we talking all time or right now though? Cause she might, I mean, I guess her having the 2-week injury really hurt her. She could have fucked around and tried to get an MVP this year though. Oh, all time? I mean, yeah, all time. But the fact that she's breaking records in her first year and a couple games is really impressive. Like, but the fact that she's even, but she was like, I mean, better, yeah, but I mean, it's impressive that she was an MVP candidate by the end of the last season. She was like 4th last year or 5th. She was like 4th or 5th last year. No, no, no. I'm not saying she would have won it, but she was a candidate last year, and had she played the full season out this year, maybe she could have fucked around and gotten it. Well, but what does more games have to do with her getting triple double records? Like, she's matching records in her first season when people have played all these years. Like, listen, I think the thing about Caitlin Clark that gets that gets missed sometimes is her ability to pass and rebound the basketball. I think a lot of, you know, myself included, right? When I started watching, I'm like, oh, she could score the basketball. She's this, she's that. But you watch the game and, you know, she could definitely get a lot better on defense, I think. But, you know, you know, she could grab rebounds at the point guard position, and she gets a lot of assists. Like, she has the record for assists in a single game. That has nothing to do with the amount of games you played. Don't you have the record for assists in a game? Yeah, 19 assists in one game. That has nothing to do with there being more games in a year. For a point guard, like, that's how she's getting all these triple doubles. Like, that's good, man. Like, her, I mean, a lot. I think a lot of, I think handles are going to get better. Like, seeing Juju Watkins handle the basketball. I talked a lot about her turnovers last year too. I talked a lot about her turnovers last year too. She definitely got to clean that up. But again, it don't take away from what she did. For someone with lacking the experience, and everybody said she would get fucking shit on last year, and just wasn't the case. Let's see. So many unnecessary turnovers, brother. We're talking about great NBA players getting a whole bunch of turnovers too. Like, it's a part of the game. You just said she's not better than Sabrina. I bro. You just said Caitlyn can't dribble the basketball, and then you said she's not, and then you said Caitlyn's not better than Sabrina. We don't got. You think Sabrina dribbles the basketball better than Caitlin Clark does? You bugging, bro. You bugging. Like, bruh, there is no way. Like, there is no fucking way, man. see. Let's look at she does not dribble the basketball better than Caitlin Clark, bro. There is no way. She does not dribble the and don't tell me it's turnovers. It's not just turnovers. She don't dribble the basketball better than Caitlin Clark. She turns the fuck around whenever a defender comes up on her like it's 1973 in the NBA. Like, what are we talking about? And I want us to win the chip, but like bro, like put Caitlin Clark on the Liberty, Lord have mercy. That shit would be scary. Why does it not have the 2020 players additional? Oh, here. Nah, bruh. I've never seen. Hey, bro. Listen, bro. Maybe, but I don't think Sabrina is a better basketball player than Caitlin Clark. Like overall, top to bottom, she's more experienced. Maybe she's better at her role, but I don't think she's a better basketball player than Caitlin Clark. I think that is insane. Bro, Sabrina was getting fried last year in defense, no? The finals, she was getting fucking cooked last year in general. So the last 2 years, well, last year, 34%. So Caitlin shot a better 3-point shot than Sabrina last year. This year, obviously, Caitlin's been out 31% versus 33.3% for Sabrina. Overall field goal shooting, 41.7 for Caitlin Clark last year, 40.3 for Sabrina. Field goals 39.3 this year for Sabrina, 39.4. And obviously the turnovers is probably the worst shit for at 5 a game for Caitlin Clark, but at every other statistic, I mean, she don't, like, Caitlin rebounds better than her, gets more assists than her, scores more than her. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what else. I don't know how else you'd quantify it. But hey, I got you. I'll lock into some more games and we'll revisit this convo. I got you. I'll lock into some more games and we will revisit this conversation. But the Liberty I don't think Sabrina is better than Caitlin Clark, but that's just me. Sabrina has better rebounders on her team. Bruce, I listen. I never pretended. I never pretended like I'm watching every like you keep saying that like I said something else. I never pretended like I'm watching every WNBA game right now. But every time I have watched Caitlin and Sabrina, I've never seen Sabrina and say I think she's better than Caitlin Clark. That's just me. I don't think she does anything better than Caitlin. And we're talking about someone in their second year in the league. Like we're talking about someone in their second year. Like let's compare, let's compare them at their second year in the league. Right? Like when Sabrina came in 2020, she averaged 4.3 turnovers a game in her first year. And worked it down, obviously, right? Worked it down and got more efficient in that. But Hey, we'll revisit we'll revisit this convo because I'm down to have this conversation. I'm down to have this convo, but I'll watch more games. I got you. I'll watch more games, but I've been yapping for fucking an hour and a half. Holy shit, I didn't even realize the time flew. Sometimes I'll be wondering, like, what are we gonna talk about today? And then an hour and a half goes by. Shit just happens sometimes, but as always, man, as always, it's so much fun hanging out with y'all. Before I get out of here, man, please like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. You already know the vibes. Thank you so much, Bruce, for hanging out with me. Thank you so much, Elijah. Thank you so much, Black Canadian. Everybody else for coming to watch. Thank you, Mom, for pulling up. But thank you, everybody, man. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I'll see y'all back here on Wednesday, and we'll watch the game that night. So I'll see y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.